I've always felt different. I've always seen things, but when I tried to express them as a child, I was always told to ignore it.
There were people that I didn't know that came to me and said, I have this message that I keep getting that I have to deliver to you.
All of a sudden, out of the shadows, a homeless man just jumped right in front of me. And he said, I'm a soul just like you.
I love it.
I wanted to understand the universe and who and what we are and what are we doing here.
Well, we're all part of this amazing soul wave tapping into each other.
This was a major life changer.
You are a light. You have helped me a ton. Thank you.
You've given me the courage to live more from my soul.
Millions of people are awakening. So wake up with Michele Meiche. Be pleased to hear the best-selling authors and experts in the fields of cutting-edge self-help, personal growth, metaphysics, and spirituality. The soul path of awakening. Understand what living awake is.
Hello, Radiant Lights. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Hello in the chat, the Sacred Space of Empowerment Room. Also my co-hosts and sound engineers. They let me know how the sound is doing. If you're new to Awakenings with Michele Meiche, I just want to say, glad you found us. And if you have questions or comments in the chat, that's fine. Helps if you type in caps sometimes. Welcome also those that are listening in the archives later. And those of you that are listening by your own internet, your inner net. Hey, Haley in the chat. Hi, everyone. I see people get in the queue. Callers coming in. Welcome, everyone. If you have a question or a comment, you can always ask in the chat. Also, you can call in and listen to the program at 347-539-5122, 347-539-5122. And if you want a reading, to ask a question, just to chat, please press 1 on your keypad. I think that's all we need to know for right now. In regards, let me give you that number again, 347-539-5122. Press 1 on your keypad. Very cool. I want to let everyone know ways to connect in. As always, I repeat it because sometimes people DM me on Instagram saying, I sent you messages. Anything Awakenings, please email awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. And that's also for you publicists, publishers, book representatives, for guest topics, guest suggestions. If you want email questions, you want to email me questions to answer on air, that email also is awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to do personal work with me or connect with me, you can email me at info@soulplayground.life, info@soulplayground.life, or just go to soulplayground.life. And there's resources there. You can download free meditations. There's soul path tools, soul support. There's a lot there, a lot of resources, specific processes for things that you're going through. Have at it. You can copy and paste stuff and also download. There's certain things that you can download. Also connect with me, please, on my YouTube channel, Soul Awakening with Michele Meiche. Would love to have you there. I'm just so, in fact, if you can hear it a little bit of my voice, I've been doing a lot of videos. I'm trying to get to 3 a week, but I have my schedule is pretty full. So I'm trying to go from 2 to 3 a week. I'll be uploading, I'm uploading right now as we speak. I'm uploading to YouTube. So that will publish. I've got messages from your future self and a higher self. Very interesting readings. I got to tell you, this energy, I've been doing this a long time, and I've been talking about the soul, aware of the soul, because since childhood for me, and talking about the soul, working with the spiritual hierarchy and the oversoul since I think late 80s, gang, late 80s, early 90s, way back in the day when all my career, everything froze, and I just started getting messages for people. interesting story. Some of you know it, but I didn't charge. I was modeling and acting, and I did have healing ability, and it was intuitive, and psychic. So I was doing some of that, kind of on the side, just because of my interest, studying a lot. And I started working more studying, healing work. And then all of a sudden, these beings were in I'll never forget, my healing office. And I'm like, okay, who are you? Literally, who the hell are you? I was like, what's going on here? And they're like, I'm spiritual hierarchy, oversoul. They gave me this whole rundown of who they are, what they do, how they help navigate the changes and upcoming changes and awakening on the earth. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden I started getting all this information on people. I'd meet people. I'd write like pages and pages of, legal size notebook. I would just start automatic writing. And then I'd get the message, go deliver this to them, tell them this. Or this person, what was really interesting, at one point I would get these messages before the people showed up. They're like, this person's going to show up and this is what's going on with them. And sure enough, that person would show up. And then what happened is I just started, this was a little before actually. Somehow people got my phone number, and I just all day would just sit and answer calls. And I thought it was really fun. People that I didn't know, I was giving readings to. I was giving what the guides called channeled guidance. And I still have some of those clients today that started with me, by the way, which is pretty amazing. And I would just, the phone's ringing, and my friends would say, what did you do? And I said, I don't know. This person called me from Germany, from Europe, and I gave them all this information and gave them this reading. And it wasn't until this astrologer, and I'm not remembering her name right now, but in Newport Beach, who found out about me and said I, was amazing. The guidance and the reading was extremely accurate, as she put it. And she said, what do I owe you? And I said, I should charge. She goes, oh, no, you're really good. You should be charging for your services. And I was like, oh, okay. What do you think? And that was the start of my career with this portion, And then, of course, I went back to school and retrained, and I really dived deep into, metaphysics and spirituality and spiritualism and transpersonal psychology, hypnosis. But at first it just, I didn't plan this. It just kind of happened, and it was fun. It was interesting for me. I liked helping people. I liked meeting people from around the world and getting information, and I literally was the messenger. I'd take a class, and then I'd get information, and then the guides were like, go, you got to call them and give them this, or next time you see them. And then as I started getting appointments, I would get specific information. This person, this man is going to come to you, this young boy, this person, this woman, and help them. And I really could see psychically, energetically, that there was this crossroads. And I see it in my work now. The people that usually come to work with me are making huge decisions. They're in their soul alignment. They are aligning more to their soul, opening to their soul, and they have a special purpose or mission. And it's about to happen. It's about to, and I guide them through that. Very interesting. And I literally see like a bridge. There's the bridging part, and then there's the crossroads when they start working differently. They let the kind of it might be something very fulfilling for them at one point, but they start to leave that behind and really connect into their soul purpose or a different way of expressing their purpose. Yeah. So anyway, I've been kind of thinking about that while I was doing the videos yesterday. Yesterday my day was so full from, I don't know, probably I do my me time and all my stuff in the morning, and then clients and appointments and videos. Oh, that's right, because I did my mentor cam. If you guys have quick questions, you can go to mentor cam, use the app, or go to mentorcam.com. So I was in that flow, and I'm doing some of that for a huge company. And I thought, you know what? This is so cool because I'm really getting in spirituality and metaphysics in under the radar. I really am. It's like I show up or they show up or they come into my life or these companies, and it's not just a simple answer about, stress reduction or how do I focus better, or I'm transmitting this energy to them, this healing light energy, the soul light energy. And the answers that I'm giving is bringing in an aspect of spirit and spirituality, an aspect of their soul, no matter what the words. And I want to share with all of you, you may be called to do that. It's not so much the words we use, it's that transmission of energy, it's psychic, spiritual energy, psychic coming from the soul. And you develop that. You have more of that. Some people have it more naturally. But the more healing work, the more you open to your own gifts, you're transmitting that. No matter what the words, if you're saying alone time or maybe you need me time to someone, you may be transmitting to them to commune with their divine nature. You don't have to say that. You're transmitting that, and they will get the message. That's one thing that my guides shared with me a long time ago, and some of my in-person metaphysical teachers, was that it's not always so. It's not so much the words. People will take the message in the way that they need to, but you're transmitting. We're transponders. We broadcast and we, emit. We receive the energy, but we also emit it as a transmitter or a broadcaster. So they're getting your frequency. They're getting your love, light, energy, and wisdom. Hi, Tammy. Laura Lee, no, I can't remember her name. She is very well known. I don't know if she's still practicing or if she's alive, by the way, because I think when I read for her, she must have been in her 60s. I can't think. She lived in Newport. I ended up, because a friend of mine, a very kind of wealthy, prominent friend, used her. And I think that's how the connection came in. And she lived, if I think of the name, I'll mention it. But it's totally escaped. I can see her visually, but I cannot. The name is. It's funny. I see her visually. She had really short hair. I don't think it was Laura Lee, but I remember she had short hair, kind of a medium build, shorter in stature, and she had been. Isn't it just interesting how things happen? And that's, I guess, that Joseph Campbell, phrase that he coined about follow your bliss, to some degree is really important. And again, everyone has their way of doing it. I also just notice a lot of people that do, this kind of field or way of living kind of picks you. You kind of come in this way. I would have never really chosen it. But the more I studied, the more I trained, the more I grew, the more therapy, inner work, spiritual counseling that I received, and more that I was a part of this world, it so much, interested me and nourished and fed me. And it also, it so confirmed and validated my gifts growing up, being psychic and knowing things before they would happen and seeing things in people. Now it's funny because speaking, Tammy, when you're talking about, what did you say, Tammy, in the chat? Just curious. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. Now when I look at the astrology, I'm like, okay, I you can see it. You can see. So I'm a little contemplative today, guys. We're going to get to the readings and callers, 347-539-5122. I see a lot of people in the queue. Please press 1 on your keypad if you did want to get a reading or you had a question or a comment. Now, why I'm really setting up, I've been doing, also, if you feel like doing a deeper dive with me, there's availability in my Patreon group. There's different levels you can connect in with, but I do a lot of videos there and a lot of voice notes. There's also one tier that we meet monthly. We have a metaphysics and spiritualism salon that I'm really enjoying. But giving a heads up on the energy, I don't know if you've felt it, but the energy is so changed. Oh, are you, Tammy? You're feeling contemplative too. Okay, yeah. It's this, I'm telling you, I talked about this in my Patreon. I talked about this in the videos, my pick a card videos and updates, energy updates, and was guided. That's why I started my soul-centered living program, which will restart next year, January, from September. This is you guys, I cannot impress upon you how important this time period is, from September actually to February, but this time period right now from September to December, and we're right in it in this November time period. Please do yourself a favor and finish things that you need to finish up, or allow yourself to get the clarity. Now, you may not be able to do something about things. There's a little bit of a patience kind of wait and see situation. But this month you're really going to see, oh, Fawn, this way, or I have to do this, or I have to finish this up. Because I'm telling you that there's cataclysm, there's huge life-changing events next year where they're impacting more and more the individual, where you're going to realize, whoa, for the next few years, the next chapter or chapters in my life, I don't even think there's chapters. I think there's a new book that's being written, okay? And so for that next book, there's different people that you're going to need to be around and that you're going to need to connect with. And so wrap things up. What can you complete right now, even in your own mind, where you make peace with something? It could be making peace with something. It could be, I've been hearing the phrase, I've been saying it, it is what it is. It is what it is. I've been saying that personally in my readings, it is what it is. And that's not out of resignation, but there's a stark wake-up call that's going to happen, like, whoa, slap, this is not a dream. It is what this is what it is. Now, how do I deal with it? And because you're also individual, this is going to happen in a multitude of ways for everyone. You have to pause and say, okay, what do I need to do? You know, laws are changing. I need to do A, B, C. I need this. For many of you, it could be financial. It's going to be stuff that's really 3D, especially right now with that Uranus in Taurus. It's preparing us for the changeover when the North nodes, the nodal axis, the Gemini North node, Sagittarius South node, is going to be going into Taurus. So we are literally going to be, it's called the crucifixion, but not in what you think. It's not religious. It's in the even cross, as above is so below. It's the cross is a turning point. It's the crossroads, literally. It's the recognition on the path of the spiritual realm. Now, so let me just explain, because one time I did a workshop and I had some people that were not Christian, and they're like, oh my God, that's the cross, that's a trigger for, okay, I'm universal. I'm not any religion. I'm all religions and no religion. Christianity or Catholicism has what's called the uneven cross. If you notice, the middle part is vertical, is longer than the horizontal line. What that means is when you see the vertical line in the cross that's longer, that means the spirit life or spirit realm is more important. The horizontal line has to do with the material plane, okay? Metaphysically, we have the equal cross or equidistant cross, which means that spirit and the material are one and the same, as above as so below, as within as without, that the material is a manifestation of the spiritual realm. So it's all the same. In other words, material realm is spirit in matter. That's a metaphysical principle. So please don't people freak out about when I talk about crosses, because some people are, oh my God, I'm not, Christian, or I'm not Catholic, or that's why it's good to study symbology. So what's going to be happening is we're going to be in that Leo Aquarius axis, okay, and what's crossing that is that Taurus Scorpio. Well, that is the new age. That is the Aquarian age. So those realms within your life, those of you that are into astrology, you may want to look at your chart. Where is Taurus? Where, especially middle degrees, 24 to about 29 degrees, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. Those are the big players in the next few years. Now that brings in, mediumship, occult, that brings in sacrifice, that brings in things with resources, oil, changes in monetary economy, stock market, food supply, earth changes, climate changes, changes in resources. It brings in changes with how we share, shine our light, our soul group, finding our soul value systems. There's just so much. And so you'll notice where, the message is going to be, where's best for me to impact, and where am I going to be impacted? So it is November is going to be very, very intense energy. For some, it could be very chaotic. I would say do extra meditation, do a lot of walking. The other day I walked twice in the day when I rode my bike. I've been riding my bike, going on longer bike rides, or just biking around to do errands, get things done. Find what, and then certain teas I like, certain people I connect to or, talk with that are inspirational or uplifting or also got a pulse on what's going on. This is your time to say, what do I need to bring with me in this next book? Some of you could be finishing chapters, but there's a new book. It's a whole different, we're going into a whole different book here, a whole different, way of being. And it's coming through us as us, the creator beings that we are. There's a lot of purification. Some of you, this could be health challenges. This could be diet, foods, the idea of nutrition. Spiritual nourishment, food nourishment, emotional. How do you nurture and nourish yourself? That's a biggie right now. We are pregnant with the soul. The soul energy is starting to burst through more and more. And I do feel you're going to see more division, but with a certain group with love and understanding. Certain groups, yes, there's going to be fighting and factions and, leading to civil war and this and that, and political fighting and fighting of the government with different big businesses and corporations and social media companies, But out of this fighting and this divisiveness, people taking a stand. And you're going to find in your own life that you have the courage to take a stand. You're going to have to take a stand. Now, it might be a quiet stand. It might be just a lifestyle stand that you're doing something differently. It doesn't have to be extreme, but it will be in a way that you live very differently. It reminds me of years ago when I worked with quite a few medical doctors in hospitals doing hypnotherapy, medical hypnotherapy or hypnosis. Worked a lot with, stress reduction and post-traumatic conditions or situations, or post-traumatic stress disorder or delayed post-traumatic stress disorder, and cardiologists. I had a few cardiologists referring me clients, and for the hypnosis, but also for meditation, stress reduction, helping them create a different lifestyle. And it was very interesting that now some of these people, they had open heart surgery, or they'd had, heart issues somewhere on the way there. It was amazing to see some of them, the changes that they made when I later saw them, when they came back. Some of them right away, within weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, some of them 6 months later. And at the time I was working in person, they looked differently. There was a lot of vibrancy. They had new chapters, but some of them had a whole new book of how they're living. You know, they made such huge, beautiful change, celebrating themselves and their health and what they were about. Some of them, for sure, ate differently, so they looked differently. They felt differently. Some of them moved to a different environment. You know, I remember one, because I was in the San Diego area, and they had 2 homes. They had a beach home, and then they had a home in Rancho Santa Fe. And actually, they also had a home, I think in Orange County somewhere. I don't remember. But they got rid of one home, and then they realized they were back and forth between the homes, and then they let one of them go. I think they went to the beach home. I can't remember. But because he always loved the beach, and he liked to walk along the beach. And then he realized, why do I need all these homes? You know, especially I didn't understand the Rancho Santa Fe and the beach. It was like, I don't know. I was so close. You could just drive down the hill. So, you know, that's a book change. That's getting up early in the morning and going for your beach walk and picking up rocks or shells and having not always having to drive into the office in LA, but having a home office, and you own the company, so you don't have to go drive in all the time. So think about what's the book you want to write now? You know, or the novella, telenovela. We're rewriting a bit here, rewriting a bit of history. There's some editing and revision that's taking place, some things that you want to bring into your present and into your future. And you're starting to get the messages. Many of you are getting it in your dreams, your dream state. Many of you are getting flashes of insight, phrases, or things that keep coming up for you, these reminders. And it's time to start listening and really prepare. It may be writing a list. Look and see where you need to prepare. Is it your body? Is it your health? Is it how you live, where you live? Do you have too much stuff? You know, like that person, clearly multimillionaire, maybe even billionaire. They could have all those homes, but it's too much. It was weighing them down and him down. There was no reason for that anymore. It had a reason. So, and please try to do this with love and compassion, because it doesn't mean that what you were doing in the past or what you had in the past wasn't right or good or you were off track. It's just different now. Things have changed. It is what it is. And because things have changed, you've changed. And because you've changed, things have changed. And so there is that call then. How do you now respond to the change of it is what it is? It's funny, I've been saying that over and over, and then I was talking to, some of you know Grace, a really good friend of mine, and she has even been on the podcast, amazing healer, sound healer, cranial sacral healer, and amazing also crystal bowl healer through the crystal bowl, and also a musician. But she's friends with this musician, Thundercat, and I was talking about it is what it is. I was like, I keep saying this in my readings, and it came through in one soul story, and I pick a card, and then I was saying it to my clients, and then I was saying it to me and hearing it to me, and then I'm like, and then it was mirrored to me in a couple, I don't know if it was Netflix or Amazon movies I was watching. It said, it is what it is, and then a TV show, an international TV show that I was watching on Amazon, I think from my BritBox. And the guy says, it is what it is. And then someone personally said it to me in a conversation. And then she's like, oh, my God, Thundercat just wrote a song called It Is What It Is. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm talking about, people. It's all in the ethers. We pick it up because we're all interconnected. These are messages. And as I was talking with someone, they said, yeah, it was. Oh, I know what it was. Instagram Live with Miko and Biji. By the way, they're going to be coming back. I think Wednesday they'll be back on the program. And we were talking about this, and Miko said, yes, And it is what it is, but not out of apathy or resignation or victim, like what can we do or can't do anything. It's a realization of it is what it is in the moment, the truth, what's really going on. And that means all parts of it, what is going on 3D, 5D, and above, what we see, what's the tangible, what we can hold on to, and what's around it, what's underneath that in consciousness, what the spirit. What's the transformative energy? It's seeing all of it. And I feel everybody, many people, all of you listening, obviously, it may not be all the mainstream, but some of those are going to be waking up too and going, wow, it is what it is. There's a lot going on. And there's a lot of avenues of healing and empowerment and ways to connect in, not only with yourself, but each other. And so to me, when I have those kinds of experiences, it's just another confirmation of, you want to call it the zeitgeist, what's in the energy, what's in the morphogenic fields, the energetic fields, what's in the quantum aspect of our being, because we're all interconnected. Everything is interconnected. As above is so below, as within is without, as all, we are not separate from source or each other. We are separated out through a complex of vibrational code, through that amazing fractal design that we come in as a soul, through the music of the Fibonacci sequence, the music spheres. But just as we extend or expand out in all these different multiple forms, we also collapse into the one. That's the metaphysical axiom. Out of the one or from the one comes the many. And from the many is the one. So we have this ability to tap in right now. It's going to be more and more, but prepare for it. Just start playing around with it. Those are messages. When you're getting those messages, I claim that. Thank you. I'm getting the message. Thank you. I'm tuned in. I'm taken care of. I'm being supportive. I'm getting what I need. I'm getting the message of the next step. I'm getting the confirmation of what's going on. It's very powerful. And the invite is now. The invite and the opening is now. All right. And it's a now time to get to callers. 347-539-5122. Press 1 on your keypad. Hello, 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 Radiant Light. Hello.
Hello.
You're on air. Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Michelle.
Hi. Who's this?
This is Keisha. How are you doing?
Keisha. What's your question? I'm going to go kind of quickly today because we have a lot of callers. So okay, Keisha.
Yeah, I understand. I want to know business.
Well, no, not just to you, but everybody. And me. More for me because I just go off. I could be 5 minutes, you know what I mean? So I got to kind of, I don't know if I set a timer or what. Time me in the chat.
I totally get it. I was wondering what was coming up for me as far as business. I'm currently working on something. I kind of like to keep stuff secretive when I'm working on it, but I'm working on something right now. So I kind of want to know, what do you see coming up?
I think it looks really good. It shows cooperation. You may be even working with another person to support or assist you. It shows you fleshing it out more. Could be something even online. Yeah, it's definitely going to go for it. Focus on it. It has a lot to do with you is what I'm hearing too. You're kind of at the center of it, and also bringing in your intuition or something about compassion. I would say it's going to be successful. It's a door opener to something else also. So you're on the right track is what I'm hearing.
Okay, like you mean like something new as far as working in a different field? When you say open up the door for something else?
No, I feel like this is going to be an opportunity. So keep on track. I feel like this is for a lot of you, okay? It doesn't matter what you're doing or looking for. I am seeing for everyone, it could be towards the end of the year, definitely next year, quantum leaps. Like you've been working on something, doing it, and then woof, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I got all these clients, or oh my God, I got this new offer. Or, oh, my God, I'm doing this art show or this exhibit, or I got asked to partner with this person. So please, people, prepare. What is that saying? Luck is preparation meeting opportunity. So, yeah, you're on the right track, Keisha. Keep us posted.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Take care. Mm-hmm. Hi, welcome to Awakenings. You're on air.
Hello.
Hi, you're on air.
Yes, hi. My name's Anita. How are you?
Hi, Anita. Doing great. What's your question?
Oh, okay. Do you see a significant other coming into my life? And if so, can you get any information about him?
Romantically?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely see. And I'm also hearing the name Rob or Bob, Robert. Bob, Robert. Goes by Bob with some Robert. Yeah, you're definitely meeting someone. I don't know if it's through work. I'm getting work or social network or, work, social network. There's some kind of group. Now, it might even be a networking group or a community group, but I see him coming over to you very broad-shouldered, tall, calm, good-looking. Yeah, so there's definitely a new relationship coming in for you, definitely.
Okay.
Seems kind of quickly. Might even be December. I don't know. That would mean I have to go in further, and I got other callers. But just prepare, whatever that means to you. Just prepare to receive it. Just prepare to receive. Okay, take care.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, welcome to Awakenings. You're on air.
Hi, thank you so much for taking the call. My name is Sandra, and I am just wondering, I'm waiting for a call regarding an employment opportunity, and I'm just wondering, I believe it's coming. So I guess my question more is it within the next week or so?
It's coming. It's coming. It's showing that. It's showing you have to wait. There's patience involved. I kind of feel with you, Sandra. Yeah, I kind of feel, and there it is, cooperation, communication. I kind of feel with you like the door opens, but there's multiple openings.
Wow.
So I don't know if you get multiple job offers or you get this job, and it feels like there's also something or someone coming back from the past, another opportunity.
Oh, wow.
So I definitely feel you're the phrase I'm hearing is gainfully employed, that I do feel that you're going to be in a position that you're satisfied with. I feel like to some degree it's what you want, but then you either start.
Yes.
Is it okay? So either there's other opportunities coming, or within this company there's multiple opportunities, which means you may get a raise or rise to another level. Because I don't just see whatever level you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
I think it's beat.
Well, whatever level you come in at, there's a level above that you go to or rise to. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay. Great. That does make a lot of sense. Yes. Thank you. Good. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, Sandra.
Right.
Yeah. Congratulations. Blessing. Hi. Welcome to Awakenings. You're on air.
God. Hello. How are you? Yeah.
I'm doing great.
How you
What's
doing?
your first name? What's your first name?
Lucy.
Hi, Lucy. What's your question? Hi, Lucy.
Hi. Okay. Question. I just dropped a permit for something that I have to fix in a property that I own, and then the lady say, you will meet the inspector tomorrow. What you inside about that? To talk about the job that I want to do, because I'm doing it like as a person that is going to do it, and I'm going to I put my home insurance, and then I'm going to talk to my friend and some people that I know to help me out. I have to put the scaffolds. I have to.
Yeah, you'll get that help. It does show help. It does show support. It shows kind of a group helping or group endeavor. Let's see what's going on with Lucy. Lucy, what's coming? Oh yeah, well, yeah, okay, but it's not going to happen all at once. It's bit by bit or piece by piece. But I do see, so it could be things to work out with people's schedule. But I do see you getting the help. I do see you getting things taken care of. I'm going to say again, patience. November is about patience. So, but it's going to be okay. Yeah.
Did you see that the inspector is going to be okay? I got to go.
Keep us posted. Yes, it's going to be okay. Hi, welcome to Awakenings. You're on air. Hello. I'll come back to you, 307. You're on air. Okay, sometimes people walk away from the phone. Okay, hello, welcome to Awakening. Hi.
Yes, hi, Michelle. This is Stacy, and I have a question about. Hi, I have a question about work. You know, there's people at my job that are on the better dialer than me, and they're making more money. And I was wondering if I'll be on the better dialer or I should be looking for another job soon because, you know, I've been here the longest and I feel like I'm not treated fairly.
Yeah, I feel like it's about moving. That to me, I feel you're in a transitional job. And it's going to be, there's something else that's coming in for you that I feel is using more of your talent or your skill set. That's why you're not moving there, moving up, okay? So you may not be looking for something until, you know, maybe Pisces time next year. Are you doing something managerial, or do you want to do something more managerial or have people under you?
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be good.
Okay, that's more your desire, right?
Yeah, I mean, I took human resources, but, you know, I took that for certification, but I'm just here since, how long have I been here? Since June? Is it June? Or no, July of 2020, because of the pandemic. You know, I got this and I want longevity at the job, you know, because they look at that on the resume.
Well, that might be why you wait a bit longer, but I do feel that that's not going to be an issue on your new job, and I feel you're more interacting with people. I feel like it's more a managerial position. There's people, you know, yeah. So just, you know, just
more
get
money.
What you can out of the yes, it's all going to be good. Just get what you can where you're at, because there's another opportunity coming in for you. Now, this may be looked for opportunity, cultivated. I feel it could be from a friend, somebody that's saying there's an opening you'd be great for. So just stick with it, but don't try to expect too much. Don't get into why am I not getting this and I'm not getting that. It's because there's a next step for you, okay? Bigger picture.
All
right, Stacey.
Wow.
Good luck. Keep us posted.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hi, welcome to Awakening. You're on air.
Hi, my name's Lisa, and
hi, Lisa. Whoops, your phone just went weird. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah. What's your question?
Okay. So I'm just wondering. So with my place where I live, I've been here like 7 years, and I've had like a second incident where like I'm on the top floor and like there was a little bit of a leak and they're supposed to fix it. Like I don't think they'll have to like repaint the whole ceiling, but I'm just hoping they'll do it soon. The management company from the condo, and I've been feeling for a while like also it's a sign that, you know, maybe I should continue a search that I started a while ago to kind of find something that I really feel will be like my last good property to own. So I'm wondering like what you see with them fixing this.
It's a sign, but I do see it fixed probably around Sag time, so that's end of November.
But the thing is, if it rains, it could happen more. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
I'm just telling you what I see, Lisa. So I'm just telling you what I see. So you can call them and nudge them if you'd like to. And I do feel that you are going to be looking at a different property or different place. But it does show that will get fixed. All right,
so do you think with the...
Got time for one question for everyone. Hello, welcome to Awakenings. You're on air.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
My name is.
Hi.
How are you? My name is Maria. I call from New York.
Okay.
I got a question.
Maria?
Excuse me, Maria, yes.
Oh, Maria, Maria. Hold on.
Yes. I got a question, please. See me, I go to Italy before Christmas, buy property over there.
Okay, let's look at that. Yeah, see, I do see a lot of people next year moving, like a mass exodus. People.
This year.
Yeah. Oh, you want this year? I don't know about this year.
Go
I do.
Christmas.
Oh, you're going. When are you going?
In Sicily.
Oh, okay, Sicily. Now, are you going to go and stay there?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I want to buy property.
Okay, well, I definitely feel you're going to buy property, but I feel like you're going to be leaving. I feel like you're going to end up moving there.
Oh, good.
That's what I'm seeing. What's coming up for, Maria getting property in Italy and Sicily. I love Italy. Yeah. Let's see. You may go back and forth, it shows, and then it does show you a move there, actually. I don't know. You either have relatives or friends there. There's somebody, a close contact or connection there that's going to help you, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I got a relative over there.
Okay, then they're going to be helpful. Yeah, they're going to be really helpful for you. And also probably say, you should move here. Yeah, I feel like it's a great place for you. I really do. I think it's a good move.
Are you
see Maria.
Are you seeing me buy property over there?
Yes, I do. I don't know if it's this trip or you go back, because I see a couple of some trips back and forth. But the overall energy is showing you getting property there, and it's also showing a move there. And I don't feel the move is far off. I feel it's sooner than later. It's not years down the road. It's not like 5, 6 years, 3 years. Yeah, it's
no.
And like I said, it's this relative is going to help you, and then the friends they have. It's very good connection there.
Right. Thank you.
All right, Maria. Take care.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Ah, beautiful soul. Hi, welcome to Awakening on Air.
Hi, Michele, it's Zoe.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey, so I have a quick question. I recently met somebody on my birthday, and I feel like this really interesting energetic pull to them. But I feel a little bit like there's a blockage or they're pulling away, and I don't know if it's because the person is expected to be leaving or what. I just want to know what this energetic draw is to this person.
Connection.
And if it's, yeah.
Oh, Saturn. There's something about the past life or your types of past. You're going to be doing, Zoe, a whole kind of clean sweep with relationships next year.
Yeah.
So what you're attracting now, you're not going to be attracting. I feel like there's a up leveling. There's a forget 3.0. There's a Zoe 4.0. So this person, I do feel there's like a push-pull energy. There's like available, not available, flowing and not flowing. You know, there's, let's see, what are his guys feeling for Zoe? Yeah, he's not sure what he wants. There's fluctuation there. It's fluctuating.
Yeah,
either he's up in 100%. The air in his life. Yeah, and he doesn't know what he wants in relationship. So that's changing for you. That kind of comme ci, comme ça, whatever, is going to be kind of changing. Something is happening for you, probably around, it starts in your energy field around Sagittarius, so end of November. But I feel like into December it kind of grows, and then January, February, there's a very decisive energy around you. And I feel like you're also very decisive of a path or something that you want to do. It could be a move. It could be certain people. Yeah, there's something that's really going to kind of catch fire, your passion. So people that are wiggly like this doesn't mean you won't hang out, but you're definitely going to either hang out less, and you're not going to let them in, like, thinking that they could be a partnership. Because I just see he doesn't know what he wants. In a lot of different areas.
He thinks he's gonna have to. He thinks he's gonna have to leave in December, and so I think that's the thing. Is it's like,
oh,
you know,
that's
when you meet
why.
somebody and then you're like,
up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So nobody wants to get attached if they think it's gonna go away.
But see, that's a pattern
of
yours, sweetie.
Okay.
It's
So that's
changing.
because I'm wondering. I'm like, what is this? Why am I so drawn to this person? Why do I want to be close to them? It's weird, you know, like.
Yeah, that's pattern. You know, take a peek at it. You know, you can copy and paste my 5-step emotional clearing process on my website, and that's the beginning one. If you want to do the advanced, there's the MP3. But yeah, because something that you're going to do is you're really going to see that. Maybe it's through the inner work that I'm suggesting that you do, but that has been a pattern with you, and for some reason there's a shift where that really changes. I don't know. Because I do see you attracting someone in that's very stable, and you'll probably do a lot together. I feel like they're artists. But very stable in their own right.
I just don't know if it's this person. You know, I just don't know why I'm so
not kind of feeling. I feel like he's up in the air. He's up in the air with you, but he's also up in the air with his life, I feel like there's just a lot of unknown around him right now. A lot of possibilities and options. Okay, sweetie, keep me posted. I'm going to see our guests on. Oh, gosh, great to connect with you as always.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao. Big hug.
Ciao, ciao. Big hug. Oh, you guys, so beautiful. I'm telling you, I see so much pattern changing. A lot of shifts right now. God, it's amazing. So I'm trying to see, where are our guests? Are you in the queue, guesties? Let's see. I don't see. Some things that are ending might be the pattern that you have. Not in blame. That's one thing the guides kept telling me. It's like it's being really compassionate and understanding with ourselves. If we're extensions of the all that is, we're extensions of the pattern that have been in the race consciousness, right? What we call the race. We're integrating more of the root race right now, more of that indigenous energy, the intuitive, the shamanic, being able to travel in between worlds, the dream keepers, you know, the mystical part of us, you know, blending, merging that Atlantean energy and Lemurian energy. So there are just quantum changes. What can I say, guys? Quantum changes happening in different ways for different people, but it's you'll know the call because you'll know something is over. Something is complete. You'll just know, I can't do this anymore. It's going to be this very intuitive kind of knowing or intuitive understanding, intuitive guidance, that you're guided in a certain way or you're responding in a different way. That's another way to look at it. You're responding in a different way. And it's not heady. And you might even be seeing how you kept the pattern going, right? How you propagated it, how you perpetuated it, how it propagated, you know, how it was passed on generationally. These are patterns that we've had thousands of years. Ancient times, biblical times, same pattern. Ancient Greece, ancient Roman times, same pattern. If you look at the pattern and what's being played out, we are up-leveling through it. And one of my metaphysical teachers said, you know, there's really these 7 lessons. There's 7 souls, ways of light that manifest through the soul, that patterning, that individual matrix of the all that is, the design. And we play out. That's why the astrology works. You can look at the astrology and see, oh, wow, this happened in 1886. Oh, this happened in, 500 AD. Okay. So we play it out. But this is the chance to kind of, I see like the spiral, that mortal coil, to play it out in a very different way, to actually create a new pattern that is based on the new emerging consciousness. So it's important. It's a pivotal time. It is very pivotal. If you don't think so, just look, and it might be subtle. I think that's why sometimes it trips people out, because it's chaotic, but it also can be very, it can be very subtle. It can be like, oh, I've been changing for a while. I've been doing this differently, or responding, or my tastes have changed. That's one way that you're going to notice this. Your tastes change. How are your tastes changing? Some of it's the food, what you can be around, who you can be around. We got to just remember that to do it in love and compassion, not in a way that says, oh, that way of being was wrong. That was less than. Right? It's a different form, it's a different understanding of our experience and expression of the all that is. So in some ways, nothing was ever wrong, because if it's here, it's vibrationally needed and necessary. When it's no longer resonating enough, there's too much dissonance, there's not enough coherence and resonance, it no longer exists in this form. It gets subsumed back into the all that is. Oh, yeah. Kind of happens like that, everyone. All right, it is time for our awakening dialogue, and we have with us modern mystics, healers, and channelers Renee Blodgett and Anthony Compagnone. I hope I'm saying that right. They are founders of Blue Soul Earth. Their work is centered on bringing science and spirituality together through various content. One is their study course, Study with Spirit, which are workshops, energy healing, and they also lead retreats to sacred destinations around the world where they tap into the hidden and inner worlds that shamans and spiritual masters so often speak of. In their own words, it is the world of spirit or multidimensional realms where ancient knowledge and healing takes place, often in a way that appears to be transcendent to our senses. I want to welcome to the program Renee and Anthony. Hello.
Hello there, Michelle. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
We are great. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here. Where are you based out of?
I'm in Southern California, so I'm right now in the mountains.
Beautiful there.
Different. Where are you calling from?
In Northern California.
Oh, okay. California. We got both polarities. We got the north and south. Love it. Okay, now also, before we dive in, I want to get your, how do you say your last name? Is it Blodgett?
It's Renee Blodgett and Anthony Compagnone.
And Compagnone. You can say it that way.
Compagnone. Okay.
Compagnone and Blodgett.
Okay, great.
The other way you said it was kind of sexy, but it's definitely Blodgett.
Well, that's my French coming out. That's my Blodgett. That's my French, because I saw Compagnone. Blodgett.
I know. It definitely sounds better, doesn't it? It's a Welsh name, though.
Oh, it's Welsh. Oh, I love that. Blodgett.
Yeah.
Okay, Welsh. Okay. Beautiful. All right, you two radiant souls, let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about what I would like to know what you were doing before you got guided on this part of your path, and what brought you to the work that you're doing now. And then you can go back and forth, because I'd love to know that and let our listeners know. And then I'd like to know a little bit more of the particulars of the work that you do. I kind of gave an overview in the intro, but how does that specifically manifest through you, the type of work that you're doing?
Sure,
type of service, I should say, also. Okay, cool.
Oh. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you. It's not super loud for some reason.
Oh, okay. I can hear you better. Let's see. What about now? Is that better?
Can you? Yeah. Can you hear her? Okay.
Oh,
okay. Perfect.
Yeah, you might. If you're both sharing a phone, sometimes that changes the way it comes through in the mic. But I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh,
all right.
Begin.
Yeah. Who wants to start?
Oh.
Renee or Anthony?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where would you like to begin?
Well, I'm kind of both. I want to know a little bit about both of you, what you were doing before on your path. It doesn't have to be a lot, but I just kind of want to get a little flavor. And then what brought you to what you're doing now in this assistance work that you're doing with Blue Soul Earth that you founded. And so we can dive a little bit into what that looks like, Blue Soul Earth, as well as the Study with Spirit courses. But let's also just get a little bit of the background, how I also like to term it the first awakening. We have so many awakenings. And then we have that awakening that gets us on a whole different path, right?
So sure. So I would say, both of us have been on a spiritual path for a while, but it's not as if either one of us really sought it out. It's not like we said one day, let's go learn about channeling. Neither one of us came from that place. So, I was a publicist. I still do that work as well and run an online travel magazine called We Blog the World. So that's still an integral part of my life. But, I've done a lot of travel, and I think really the connection between those two worlds is, traveling to other places and living in 11 countries and traveling to over 92, I think that really gives us an appreciation of other cultures, other customs, and really being present, right, with everything. And we have so much to learn from our indigenous elders in that way to really appreciate and be respectful of the sacred land that we walk upon. And that's very integral to how Anthony and I think about the world, and it's also integrated into our teachings as well.
Okay.
I love that, Renee. Yeah.
It's important.
So for me, I guess you could say I've always been on a spiritual path since I was a little boy. I've always had strange things happening to me. But I still have my own profession. I'm a bilingual speech and language pathologist, and I work with children with special needs. And I'm also an instructor, a Kung Fu instructor, so I still do that as well. And but when I fully opened up, it was first in California, but it had started in New York. It was, I guess you would call it a Kundalini awakening, which I had no idea what was going on. But at the time, I was doing an enormous amount of yoga as well. So once I came to California,
how did you find out? And just to interject, Anthony, how did you find out it was a Kundalini awakening? You have this experience, and I've had Kundalini awakening, so it's quite amazing and like, what the heck? But I knew that was happening, and it was, guided. So you had this. Sounds like it was spontaneous. Where did you go, or how did you find out what was going on with you, and then what to do next?
Well, I when I lived in the Bronx in New York, I had no idea what was going on. I would go to the emergency ward, and they would give me morphine because I had no idea what was going on. I was just constantly, I was in agonizing pain throughout my mouth, my throat, my hard palate, soft palate, my gums. My body was constantly shaking, and I couldn't control any of it. And so it was a very, very long and hard process.
And abrupt.
Yes. And it completely changed my life.
Sounds like it came on quickly.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
all at one time. So it really wasn't until I moved to New York that something was going on, and Renee and I were together. And I didn't understand what Kundalini was until I started doing more yoga here in California. And then I heard people speaking about Kundalini awakenings and how it shakes your body and things of that nature. So,
one of the things that we speak about a lot in our Study with Spirit courses is don't have an abrupt awakening alone. So we try to create a community, right, where people can connect and say what's going on in their minds and what's happening to them as they are going through these awakenings, so they don't feel alone, isolated, or worse, crazy.
Right. So,
and that is so important, the community, classes, workshops, community. I mean, that's the lineage I come from, is apprenticing and classes and workshops. And in fact, there was, I think it's Stan Groff wrote this book. We called it Spiritual Emergency. There's a spiritual emergence. And there was all these spiritual emergencies, people having like situations like you're talking about, Anthony, and not knowing where to go, what to do. I think we have more safe spaces now for people. But yeah, Renee, you're right. It's best to, if you're on the path, it's best to have some people on speed dial. It's best to have, because you never, right?
I love that.
A lot comes up.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. I love that, right? Because, you think even 20, 30 years ago, even a decade ago, there was not as much awareness or acceptance of this spiritual path and, what happens once you decide to kind of open up to spirit.
Mm-hmm. And let alone the mental, emotional also. I think it could be through the physical, which the Kundalini definitely comes through that with all of it. Mental, emotional, spiritual, that definitely comes through physical somatics or manifestations. Did you feel like you were being guided through this, like finding the right people? Did stuff start aligning for you more?
Well, for me, it's one evening something had happened when we had a psychic come over. I started channeling, and I didn't know what was going on. I could feel my head starting to tingle. Everything got really hot and warm.
I could see that his eyes were changing. Things were definitely shifting, and we knew the voice coming through was not quite Anthony.
Right. So it took many years to be able to control these energies and to try to understand who they are and how they're related to my higher self.
Yeah, we did a lot of work and communion, if you like, with some of the top channelers. Not so much psychics, because that's not really what we do. We're really channeling and tapping into those higher and deeper dimensional realities, if you like, that shamans speak of as well, and some of the greatest sages and mages speak of. And so we were really tapping into and working with some of the ancient masters through books and instruction, as well as some of the more modern ones as well. So, that's really where we learned about things that you don't know when you open on this path, like how to ground and how to have discernment for the energies that are coming through. So, once you're opening up that portal, if you like, you don't want to, or you don't have to, let's put it that way, you don't have to let everything in, and nor should you.
Yeah, you do have that we call spiritual discernment that needs to happen, that discernment, love, compassion, mercy, but discern what you want coming in or not, or, whether it's in person, other dimensional, or, that's, I think, very, very important. I do feel, I want to get your take on this. I do feel there's going to be more and more of these, and I want to say more bona fide or reputable safe spots. I sometimes look at it as like a lily pad or lotus pad, places to go for more and more, not just newly awakened for sure, newly awakening, and then those that have been on the path for a while, these respites, these places to learn, to grow, to share, whether in person or, a lot I feel will be online. Are you sensing that or seeing that yourself?
You mean more and more people awakening?
That, but also I feel that there is a need. It's very interesting. I feel like a few years ago, especially even around I'd say between 2011 to about 2015, 16, maybe even up to a couple of years ago, it just seemed that a lot of people were just almost just studying very surfacely, and like, I'm going to be a psychic now. I'm a medium. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Now I'm seeing a movement where people really want to study. They want the support. They want to apprentice. They want to learn more. So I am seeing this kind of shift where people are saying, I guess kind of like you said, don't do it alone. I think people are kind of, I don't know, either recognizing that or willing to go to a deeper, level or understanding. And I'm just wondering, in kind of, so to speak, your neck of the woods, if you're seeing that also, that there is this wanting now or focus to, are you? Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I would say that's absolutely the case.
Well, we're in Northern California, so that's always been. I think that's always been the case here.
But also,
I know what you mean.
But I'm talking
because
my show is but my show is because my show's international and I work internationally with people. I was just seeing this trend, and I thought it was kind of alarmed. I was like, oh no, what's happening now? And there's definitely been a shift where people want to study. In fact, in the chat, Sue was saying, sign me up for more and more learning. Yeah, I'm feeling like there's this kind of voracious appetite now, like people not wanting to be so surface with this type of work.
Yes, I agree.
I get you though, Anthony, in your area.
Yeah, true for us too, because we have global students as well. We have people who work with us from Europe, Australia, Africa, Middle East as well. So, we're also starting to see an expansion of that as well, of more and more people kind of dialing in or wanting to know kind of what's happening, right? Because not everyone does live in, California where there's a yoga studio on every corner. So, and back to your point about discernment and really wanting to study. So I think your point there was really, are people trying, things are surfacing where people really want to know, the real deal, right? And I think part of that, what we say to the people that we work with, ask a fundamental, simple question, right? Sometimes it's so easy, it's hard. If you're working with a spiritual teacher or a channeler and they have some kind of political agenda, or, some kind of emotional agenda, then chances are it's not coming from source, right? It's not coming from the universal.
Exactly.
Of all that is. So I think that's kind of where your question is being directed, and it's so simple, it's hard, right? Are you feeling a connection to love? Are you feeling that the teachings come from a place of love or fear, right? And these are two very different sides of the coin, and you can feel that, right? So a lot of times what people do, if they want to explore, they'll go around and they'll, study with a lot of different teachers, and then they'll come back and they'll share, right? Well, this didn't feel right because. And I think that discovery process is necessary for everyone, so we always encourage people to go explore different disciplines because, some people connect more to that earthbound shamanic energy, whereas other people connect to the angelic realm or the seraphim realm. And so everyone's on their own unique path. And I think they need to find whatever thread, we like to use the word thread, that's really going to open them up and ignite their soul's journey, because it truly is different for everyone.
I love what you're saying, and some people in the chat responding, they are so resonating with this. Renee, I'm so thankful that you brought this up about the agenda, because I have been saying this. If people have this political agenda, because Spirit doesn't, it's on both sides, whatever, 3 sides, 2 sides. And a couple of months ago, I had somebody actually say, oh, Michelle's not saying not to do the vaccine. I'm saying, okay, I will be just like the people saying to do it and forcing it if I say don't do it and forcing it. That's not my place. And there's no, Spirit and the guides are not saying anything about that. That's a whole, so I'm so glad you're saying that and reiterating this, because I feel like a lot of people they're conflating the two, or they're conflating some other agenda that's more on a ego or human base, when there is a higher, more expanded perspective that we all need to start, in my estimation, we need to start, coming from, connecting to. So I think that's really important what you're saying. that discernment, what people need to feel out or look for. And maybe if you could talk a little bit more on that, what is some of like the flags, whether yellow or red, and how does somebody bring it back to themselves to discern, is this really right for me, or is this, kind of like, am I being led down I think, wrong path in a way, for lack of a better word? Any guidance on that for our listeners?
I can speak to that a little bit for some guidance. I think what Renee was talking about too, that anytime if there's any spiritual leader that is telling you what it is that you need to do, whether you need to get vaccinated or not vaccinated,
who you should vote for.
If there's any type of political agenda in there, then it's not really coming from, I would say, the divine self or the divine ego. It's coming more from the human ego. And in order to discern, you have to understand who you are too in this lifetime, that we too are all of God's source energy, divine energy. And once you know that, you'll be able to discern whether the messages are of divine source or if they're not. But again, everybody has his and her own unique journey. And for us and for our guides, there is no right or there is no wrong. There only is. And every journey, no matter what it looks like, is divine.
And I think the other thing to mention here too, I think one of the things that is kind of unique with our guides, and this is one of the things we love about them so much. Remember, we didn't start with an esoteric path. Anthony came, he's a speech and language pathologist. He comes out of the world of science. I came out of the world of technology for 20-something years, right? So we're very, very grounded in science and rooted in science. And I think one of the things that astonished us when we moved into this path and started teaching more and more and working with spirit is that a lot of people find that they have to choose spirit or science, and that there's nowhere in between, or that you can't embrace both. And so I think, one of our, I would say, roles, because I really do feel it's more of a role rather than just a mission, is to really bridge that gap between science and spirituality and not shun one, right, and support the other. That's not to say that we don't believe in holistic healing and energy work, right? That's what we do. And it's not to say that we don't believe in holistic paths as a way to boost your immune system in any way that you can. I mean, we do green juicing during the day and we drink really good wine at night, but there's always that fine balance. And I think going to the extreme is where a lot of people fall, right? Because when you're going to the extreme of, never can I do that. If I didn't get vaccinated for yellow fever and cholera when I traveled and lived in Africa, I may not be here today. So, there's things that you have to just kind of use, common sense, and you do have to listen to your higher self, right? Rather than those pushing for a particular agenda one way or another.
Yeah. And I like how you say, listening to the higher self. And of course, and I think in this next wave of awakening, and as we connect more as a soul being, getting out of the extremes of the polarity, there is that understanding that everything is from source, or all that is, or God, or, infinite intelligence, creative, whatever phrase, word, term, that it's all from that divine source, like Anthony was saying. So what seems to be opposite is still from that source, and you have to know yourself. I think there's so much that you're saying that is just so resonating with me, and I know our listeners and definitely people in the chat. I think people, please play this over and over, because it is that knowing yourself and what's your path, and knowing your body, and, understanding yourself, understanding, how you think and feel. It's a very individual aspect of the path right now. No one can blanketly tell you something. We have to look within now and feel within. So anything that I think helps will do that. That's why I think, to your point, Renee, talking about people's outer agendas or the, more the human ego, as Anthony was terming it, is so important right now, where there's a lot of questions and confusion or uncertainty. And people, and that's the old paradigm, people want to go to someone and say, what should I do, A or B? What's right? And it's like, that's not the unfolding right now. And it seems like you, with your courses, which I want to know more about, help people connect in with their true nature.
Right.
To have that understanding of themselves.
Yes. With our courses, we have a huge variety of different types of courses that we offer. And one of them is literally connecting with yourself and connecting with your spiritual guide and how to go about doing that. And in order to do that, you have to really understand where you are in this lifetime and what you're relating to. And whatever that is, if you're relating to earth-based energies, that's okay. If you're relating to angelic energies, that's fine. If you're relating to more of the extraterrestrial or the outer beings, the cosmic beings energies, that too is okay. Because for me, when I first opened up, mine was very shamanic. It was very pagan-like energies that I was being attracted to. And that was just one opening so I could start on my journey. And that's what we always encourage people to do.
And today, I think for you, right, it sort of started with shamanic and pagan, and now it's more that seraphim energy that really connects to. And two of our main guides, by the way, is Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And so we do a lot of teachings around the divine masculine and the divine feminine as part of it, as well as, we're running something now on sacred relationship and sacred sex with Mary Magdalene. And we were surprised how many men signed up for it. Not something
there's a lot coming. It's timely. There's a lot coming up right now. Of course, it's an extension from the divine feminine, but Venus, Sophia, and Mary Magdalene, that whole divine lineage of these powerful, empowered women, kind of like really connecting into the energy of them, but also really looking at the history that wasn't told, what was really going on. So that's pretty amazing that you're doing something with her presence, her energy around that.
Yeah. It's something that we never expected would happen, but these energies did come through in the very beginning. And as time went on, our guides would tell us what was going to happen and who the two guides were going to be our primary guides. And
because for the longest time, it was the Ascended Masters speaking collectively as one voice. And of course, they're still our main guides. They come through, but the Magdalene is very persistent.
Yes, she's a very persistent
energy.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, so we love working.
Well, have to be
energy.
Strong. Yeah. I mean, that's
absolutely a very, very strong force who wants the truth to come out, if there is any such thing as a truth in a quantum universe. But certainly their messages are first and foremost about love, right? So none of the dogma. Yeah. I think one of the reasons that I don't want to say feared, because, there's very little that Anthony and I fear per se. It's really more, again, that discernment. And one of it was not wanting to be connected to any religious dogma. I certainly ran away from that as a child and growing up, and didn't want to be connected to it in any way, shape, or form today. So when the energies first emerged, I was like, well, what are you doing here? We're not religious. And then soon we started, it was really kind of a surprise for us. And then we soon realized that their teachings were more, really about paganism, Buddhism even, which is not surprising given Yeshua's years spent in India. And then also Gnostic, right? Very, that inner gnosis of knowing. So, I would say their teachings are more about that than they are anything that's Christian or Judaic based.
Yeah, I wanted to just mention too quickly, because I think we're talking about some quantum stuff here, that people have to understand that when a soul comes through, such as Yeshua or Magdalene, that it's not just one aspect of, or I should say, it's just one aspect of what the soul is. There's almost an infinite amount of different energies that are associated with this particular soul, but it's all of love. And this is the impression that is given to me when these energies are coming through. So it's not just one, but it's many. And that we as human beings in this perception of who we are, our higher self is also a part of that. It connects to it. And when they're coming through me, oftentimes I will say, I am who I am. And I can feel the oneness with the allness, with everything that is. And it's one of the most incredible, enlightening experiences I think that one day all human beings are going to experience. We're on that path right now. It's slowly happening. Absolutely. The more we let go of fear, the more we're all going to continue to open up. And I see that happening in humanity right now. We're letting go of the fear. No one is here to persecute us. No one is going to burn us, hang us, all of these terrible things they did, because now we're free to really explore who we are as human beings.
And express ourselves.
Yeah, as we have that less, absolutely. I was just going to say, as we have that more full expression, and we're connecting in, I always call it the quantum aspect of our being, the interconnectedness of everything and everyone. We're getting that. And I definitely feel there's more and more of that aspect or way of living and being, that it's really living more from the quantum, and we're preparing the mind, the mindset, the body vibrationally to be able to handle that concept, to be able to embody it and kind of step into it and be it, because it's always there, like you said. It's always, those aspects are there.
That's a great way to describe it, right? Because I think there's so much fixation right now on ascension and the quantum universe, and there's quantum physics and other physicists and scientists who kind of look at the spiritual community and say they absolutely know nothing about the world of quantum, and it's embarrassing, right? And so there's that aspect as well. And so, what we always say is this: we aren't quantum physicists. We don't profess to be. We don't pretend to be. And part of, I think, this learning is really that we don't know what we don't know, and to be okay with that. We don't know kind of beyond, right, in this multiverse of being. We don't quite understand it yet. And, because we don't understand it, we're still forced to kind of put it into two different buckets. And rather than put it into two buckets, right, just accept that we live in a participatory universe. That's pretty generic. I think both the science and the spiritual side of the fence, they can both embrace that, right? We live in a participatory universe where, our actions have a ripple effect on everything around us because we're all energy. And so maybe that's just enough for now, right? Maybe we don't have to go down this quantum rabbit hole and, really try to understand it, because with our linear constructs and minds, how can we? And, I think it's almost asking too much, but you can surrender into it, because surrendering into it brings you closer to love and divinity and kindness and generosity and compassion and oneness, really.
Yeah, I love that. Well, then also the origin of quantum, just simply, I think it's 17th century of quantity. So we're connecting into the multiverse or the multi-aspects of us. I mean, that's simple. I mean, obviously physics kind of took over the word, but it really comes from the that we're more than what we, as Anthony alluded to, just this one part or aspect. There's all these multi-aspects of us playing out, expressing and experiencing. And I love what you said, Renee. We live in a participatory universe. Woo, woo, woo. Golden nugget there. Golden nugget. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. You too, we're not out of quantum time, but we're out of linear time right now. Let us know, let everyone know what's the best, you have so much ways of connecting in, social media, but is there one place, a website where people can go to where the various ways of connecting in with you? Come back. Okay, I'll ask them. We're getting in the chat. Thank you, Michele, Renee, and Anthony. Great sharing. Love this conversation. Resonate so much with this. Have an awesome week. Thank you so much. Come back. I'd love to have them back. Okay, well, there's the invite. You two.
Oh, that's awesome.
Back,
we love connecting with you, Michele, as well. I guess there's, a couple of different ways, but certainly www.bluesoulearth.com. So that's bluesoulearth.com. And then we also have a YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/bluesoulearth, where you can get, we're trying to post more and more, but these are 10 to 15 minute segments where you can see, us channel the guides as well as Magdalene and Yeshua on a variety of different topics. And on our website, there's a big box at the top that says Study with Spirit courses. You can click on that and hear about any of our upcoming offerings. And then we also have a podcast, right? Anchor.fm/bluesoulearth. And you can go there and click on that and subscribe on any of your favorite platforms, including iTunes and Spotify. So there's tons of different ways, and we're Blue Soul Earth on all social media platforms.
Okay, great. It's also in the I keep forgetting. It's in the show description box in the episode for this episode. The contact information also. Oh, you two, thank you so much for sharing your amazing insights and energy. Really, really appreciate you taking the time to be on the program. And come back soon. Maybe we'll do some channeling, reading. Yeah, I'd love it. It's such a resonance and alignment, and I just appreciate what you're doing and what you've shared. I think you really are helping a lot of people, and definitely what you've shared has been a benefit for our listeners. So, again, Namaste. Thank you for being you.
Yeah, well, we hope to meet you one day, given that we're in the same state. Hopefully we can make that happen. We're really fans of your show.
Yeah, I'd love to. You'll be traveling more in the upcoming, so I don't know what's evolving with that, but yeah, I'm feeling this. Get on the road with the show and connect with different people, so maybe there'll be something, in that.
Great. That sounds wonderful. I would love to be able to come on and channel as well for others and let them ask the guides a variety of questions.
Well, I'm glad you're saying this. And those of you that are listening by phone, you're getting this, and it's, I think so, phone, maybe not the chat. We're going over. Yeah, just because it's so interesting, because a lot of guests, I'm trying to suss that out, like who wants to do readings or channel or share. It's funny, a lot of people don't want to, even though they're psychics or channels, and they're like, or astrologers, I don't do readings. I don't want to do reading, which is fine. That's cool, because we have these amazing conversations. But yeah, definitely, if you want to, and all those that are listening, publicists, etc., publishers and publicists, if you want to, that's definitely open to that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really do readings, right? So it's very different than a psychic or an astrologer. It's really more questions about, anything from the afterlife and, the so-called...
We've had people that have done that, that are channeled an entity or an energy or source. Yeah, sometimes I do that as well. So, it's totally fine. People they could be general questions or just you doing the channeling. And if you're open to that, that's totally... sacred space.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That would be fun.
Do that.
Yeah,
I'm sure Magdalene would love it.
I bet she. Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, she would definitely. Tammy is saying she likes your chat. Your chat. You're in the chat. Tammy is saying lovely website. Oh, nice, Tammy.
Thank
all right,
you.
guys. Thank you. I guess we got to scoot. We're over time here, which is okay, but have a beautiful rest of your day, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Michele. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Whoa, that was great, everyone. Okay, go to, let's repeat it here just in case you didn't get it. Blue Soul Earth, bluesoulearth.com is the website. And Renee Blodgett, Anthony Compagnone. All right, Radiant Lights, you know where to connect with me. It's in the description box. Connect in, soulplayground.life, et cetera, And as always, continue to shine your light, share your insights, and of course, keep away. I'm getting woke and staying woke.
Awakenings broadcast every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. Archive shows available on iTunes. For continued awakened conversations and insights, join the Awakenings group on Facebook. And check out Michele's blog at soulplayground.com. And keep awake.